Is Catherine Davis, and my project is on Chapter 11, Prosocial Behavior, and my main idea is increasing volunteerism. So as we learned in the chapter, there are many different reasons as to why people may engage in prosocial behavior. Some of which are things that we have little control over, like our gender. Men and women tend to engage in prosocial behaviors differently. Cultural differences between people, difference in religions, and then some short-term personal qualities like the mood that we're in can determine when or how we engage in prosocial behaviors. There are other things like situational determinants, such as the environment that we're in, or the residential mobility, which just means if we're very familiar with one spot, we might be more likely to engage in prosocial behavior rather than if we're in a familiar or unfamiliar area. And then the bystander effect that we have learned about throughout this course, which is the more people that are around in the case of an emergency, the less likely one single individual is to intervene. So some of the basic motives and the basic terminology behind prosocial behavior. What is prosocial behavior? Prosocial behavior is any act performed with the goal of benefiting another person. Furthermore, altruism is the desire to help another person, even if it costs the helper. And empathy is the ability to put oneself in the shoes of another person and to experience events and emotions the way that that person is experiencing them. So one way that people can express or show their either empathy or their altruism or just prosocial behavior is by volunteering. So volunteering is, it wants to increase the idea that people commit to helping strangers on a long-term basis. A poll that was shown in our book was that 47% of the United States population engages in some form of volunteering. While this is still a lot more than some of the other countries, and it's nearly half of the nation's population, there's still just over half of the people that are not engaging in these volunteerism ways. So a way to encourage more volunteering is by making it so the person is doing it for themselves, so that, so they feel like they are engaging in it because they want to, not that there's any external reward, or not that they're mandated to do it or required to do it, but it's for themselves because they enjoy volunteering, they enjoy helping other people. A perfect example of volunteerism is the American Red Cross. The mission statement of the American Red Cross reads, "The American Red Cross prevents and alleviates human suffering in the face of emergencies by mobilizing the power of volunteers and the generosity of donors." And their voluntary service is, "The Red Cross is a voluntary relief movement not prompted in any manner by desire for gain." So this is, in itself, sort of a definition of altruism. So that people are volunteering through the Red Cross for no desire for gain or advantage or anything for themselves. A current event had happened just over a year ago is Hurricane Harvey and the Red Cross involvement within Hurricane Harvey. So Hurricane Harvey was a Category 4 hurricane that took on the Gulf Coast and had the biggest impact on Texas and Louisiana, August 25th, 2017. This was a huge natural disaster that cost $125 billion worth of damages. So this is the second biggest natural disaster that our nation has seen, second only to Hurricane Katrina, which was back in 2005. the volunteer work through Hurricane Harvey, a lot of it was through the American Red Cross. $522.7 million were raised through the American Red Cross. And over 9,500 American Red Cross disaster relief workers helped out through Hurricane Harvey. And over 90% of these 9,000 disaster relief workers were volunteers. These volunteers did things like serving meals and snacks, 4.5 million meals and snacks to families in need. They also provided 415,000 overnight stays in shelters in nearby communities that allowed it. And they helped distribute, there were donations, and they helped distribute 1.6 million relief items, just diapers, cleaning supplies, comfort kits, toothbrushes, towels. And American Red Cross, through their donations, they were able to provide financial assistance for more than 575,000 affected households. The impact that the Red Cross has had, they respond to emergencies every 8 seconds. They say that this is more than the government responds to, more than other charities respond to, and they are responding to things such as small house fires, which they say is actually their most common emergency response, all the way up to natural disasters like Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Katrina. So annually, they're responding to about 64,000 disasters. American Red Cross was founded in May of 1881 by Clara Barton and has continued to impact and improve millions of lives throughout not only the United States, but actually all across the world. So the American Red Cross is a wonderful example of how people can use empathy, which is putting themselves in other people's shoes and experiencing their emotions. And then also altruism, which is doing things, volunteering or helping other people out of the kindness of their heart and not looking for any potential gain. So these are my references, our textbooks, first one, and then the redcross.org. Thank you.